The 7 levels of self. So this is my current paradigm of how I basically view awareness and how I view our evolution of awareness and how I basically perceive people. Whenever I see people, I'm able to recognize like which level of awareness they're operating from, and from that I'm able to recognize like why their perception is the way it is, right? And so for me, this is like the lens that I view a lot of reality through. And so I think it's very potent in terms of understanding one, the like the principles of reality, but also how that corresponds to ourselves as individuals, but also our own growths, our own spiritual growth and our own evolution, but also our evolution as a collective as well. It's very interesting. They These things correspond and mirror across all planes of existence. Reality is so beautiful. Okay, so let's get into this. So I have here the levels of self. Now this is a concept from my spiritual teacher Mark Gaffney. I also have the SQ chart. I don't have the SQ beliefs. This is from my teacher Aaron Apke. I was gonna put the beliefs here, but I honestly didn't fucking feel like it, so I'm just gonna do that later. I also have the chakras here, and I basically have like statements of what these levels represent and what they kind of represent. So we're gonna get into all this. This is also sacred and shadow manifestations of the chakras, and so it gives us another level of being able to understand these things. So let's just dig into this. I don't know what that was. Okay. The pre-personal self. So the pre-personal self is an unconscious identification with the collective. Now, you can think of this like a baby. A baby has an identification with the mother or the father, the parents, right? With the parental figures. The pre-personal self, it doesn't really understand its connectivity, its oneness. It doesn't understand its relationship and how it's identified with that relationship. It's just existing. Just existing. It's just in survival mode, operating off instinct. I need, so I cry and get from mommy. Then we move up to the separate self. This is where the sacral desire comes in. This is sexual energy and creative energy as well. It's the same thing, eros. So the separate self has an unconscious identification with the self. So this is when we start actually rising into identifying with ourself. But we don't actually have an awareness truly that we're identifying with ourself. Like when a child is like 2 or 3, they have, like they're able to interact, they're able to do things, they have like some self-awareness that they're able to start developing, but they don't have this true self-awareness to start really like embodying and expressing from. Like when a child sees themselves in the mirror for the first time, that's where like number 3 comes in, really. The conscious identification with the self. It's like, whoa, I am a person. And it's like you actually can start understanding yourself. Now, this level is where most people stop. I'd probably say 90 to 95, maybe 97% of humanity is here at this level, operating at the solar plexus. Self-esteem, pleasure, willpower, accountability. These things, right? This is empowerment, right? So I can explain these real quick. So insanity is kind of getting at just not really understanding like the truth of reality. The SQ chart is basically how in alignment, how aware and embodied are you in reality. So it's 2 things. It's aware with the nature of reality, the truth of reality, and embodied, like how much have you integrated that. So insanity is like 0, like very little integration. Ignorance is just you just don't really understand reality. Empowerment comes in, and it's good because empowerment is where we start getting into creator consciousness. Now the thing is, this is called the false self. Mark calls this the false self, and this is an interesting title. Now I like to talk about the false self a lot as a concept of those parts of you that the programmers put onto you that aren't actually a part of you, right? But what this is getting at is kind of that, but it's also it's believing that I am the doer and not really having this understanding that you're actually a part of a greater collective, right? You're actually a part of the field. You're one with the field, right? It's actually not really you. It's God moving through you. It's actually you as well. It's both of you. Like you're doing the work, but it's also God's will. Like your will and God's will are one. Ooh, wait, actually, this is such a good story. Wait, fuck, hold up. Let me put the camera down real quick. Hopefully this shot doesn't look too bad. Okay. Okay, hopefully that's fine. So, man, I'm trying to. My dad told me a story the other day, and it was just like this perfect realization of like, ah, man, your will and God's will are actually one. I don't remember the story. Fuck. Okay, it's okay. The principle that I'm getting at here is that at times in life, we'll be moving, right? And we'll be like making decisions and we'll be doing things and we'll be feeling like, oh yeah, I'm the doer, right? I'm making things happen for myself, which is true, which is the case, right? But you have to understand that at the end of the day, the only creative power you have is the creative power of God moving through you. You see what I'm saying? Like the only ability you have to inflict change in reality, to like create reality, is because you have the power of God, the I am. You have that in you. And so you can use your own I am power to create your own reality. That is very true, right? From your mentality, you can create your physicality. This is true. However, you can't believe that it's like just you, right? And so if you do believe that, you're in the illusion of separation. And that's where the false self comes in, because you're in this illusion of separateness. I am the doer, right? Which is empowering, because this is where a lot of like entrepreneurs are, right? People that like get themselves, like a lot of rich people, a lot of like super successful people, they get super fucking like successful, they get super like famous, or they get super rich, super successful, whatever. And then they're like, oh shit, I'm still empty. I still feel bad. I still feel not good. I still feel like the piece of shit that my parents made me feel like. And that's when a lot of those motherfuckers start getting on a spiritual journey. That's where we get to the level of awakening. Now, like I said, most people stop here, right? A lot of people operate in here most of the time. Most people, are here, but most people are just operating from these three lower chakras, right? These are the animalistic or the ego chakras. That's what they're referred to as. The heart is where things flip. These are the lower chakras, the animalistic or humanistic, egoic chakras, and these are the higher chakras, the spiritual chakras. The heart is also a spiritual chakra, but the heart is kind of like where shit can actually start flipping. So you can think of it like this: if if you can see evolution as getting from duality to oneness, then let's say that here you have basically like one point for oneness and 7 points for duality, right? You don't even really understand that you're in this like dualistic nature, but it's kind of there. And then you have 1 for oneness, two for oneness, and 3 for duality, or 5 for duality, 3 for oneness, 4 for duality. And then when we get to the heart, 4 for oneness, 3 for duality. The heart is when everything flips. So this is when love and unity can really activate. This is a conscious identification with the collective, right? Now, when I say collective and self here, when I'm saying self, I usually just mean like you, as in like you, like who I'm like pointing at right now, who's watching this. But when I say collective, this doesn't necessarily mean like the cosmic collective. It can mean that, but this could also mean like the pre-personal self, like I said with the baby. That was really an identification with the collective as like the relationship with you, the mother, the child, right? The mother, the child and the parents. That's the collective, right? The family. This collective can be cosmic, but it could also just be societal, right? This could be at the level of like, oh yeah, I feel so connected to my people. I feel so connected to nature. I feel so connected to my family. You see what I'm saying here? It's this identification with that, but it's when you understand, it's because it's coming from it's usually there's usually a divine understanding or like a higher understanding that's activated here, right? It's like, oh wait, we actually are all connected, right? And so we have this unity. There's this awakening, right? Relationship. And when we have this in shadow, it's bad. shadow, shadow sad, shadow hard. You gotta transmute from here to here. So that's true self. A lot of spiritual motherfuckers get here and then they stop here. This is not good. This is like a lot of like monks, right? Like monks that go live in the Himalayas. Now, I'm not gonna say that that's not some people's path. It probably is, right? I'm sure it is. But to say that every actually, you know what, I'll say this. There is a story that my teacher Mark told, and it was basically about this this sage, this Indian sage. And he was a very revered like teacher in India, and he taught true self, right? He taught true self. Oh yeah, you are true self. And so you should just like basically deny your desires, deny your lower self, right? Don't even worry about any of this worldly shit. None of that shit matters. All that matters is spirit. Just meditate. All right, that's all you got to do. Now, I'm not saying that was his teachings, but like that's kind of like almost the premise of true self. I made a video a couple, maybe like 3 or 4 weeks ago. It was called "Don't Fall for the Non-Duality Trap," and it's getting at this idea of a lot of people get here, but you're actually not. You're actually still in like a dualistic non-duality, because although you're identified with true self, you're actually still identifying the sacred spark that the false self was getting at, which is your uniqueness, right? You are not just some, you shouldn't just have this life of like zero desire where you're just like doing nothing. It's like, oh, everything's already all good, so I don't have to work, or I don't have to create anything, or I don't have to do anything. I don't have to change myself. I don't have to do the inner work. I don't have to make change. I can just sit here and be, because none of that even matters anyway. And it's like, no, that is spiritual bypassing. That's bullshit. That's cope. Because God did not put you here to just fucking meditate all day. God put you here to do something with your fucking life. God put you here to express yourself as a unique expression of the field of true self. Like the thing is, the separate self and the false self, right? These are getting at this understanding that, wait, I am actually a part of reality that isn't like other parts in reality. And before you understand that you're actually connected to true self, that you're actually one with true self, you're one with God, you're one with the all that is. Before you understand that, you kind of just have this separate self paradigm, and this like, the world is against me and I have to like inflict my will upon the world, because if I don't, it's going to inflict its will upon me, right? Which is the case, but it's more from this like shadow, place, right? Where we're coming from low self-esteem, or fear, or anxiety, or arrogance, or difficulty to connect with others, right? You see what I'm saying? And so from that, we operate out of that. And so it's very hard for most people to actually understand that. It's very hard for a lot of people to actually hold the unique self paradigm, because it's inherently paradoxical as fuck. It's, wait, hold up. I am one with true self, and I'm also like this unique, kind of separate, but not really separate entity. It's like, yes, that's exactly correct. Yes. It's like, God is not some being in the sky who's, sitting in the heavens and wants to condemn you because you've done something wrong. No. Right? The Abrahamic religions have depicted God in such a poor way. It's disgusting, honestly. It's disgusting. God is love. Period. God is life. God is truth. God is beauty. God is infinite intelligence. God is the field of desire that pulls all things towards each other. God is consciousness and awareness and perception itself. And so when we understand that, we can actually identify with those aspects of ourselves, those higher aspects of ourselves that are not very easy to observe in physical reality all the time. but that we know are true in our being, right? Anthro-ontologically. Anthro, right? Human, like in us, ontologically, like the nature of reality of existence. In our being, we know the truth because being, like truth lives in us. Because God is truth, God's truth lives in us. And so we can tap into that, right? That's like our intuition speaking through us. That's like our our conscious when something, like when somebody does some fuck shit and it's like, whoa, what the fuck, like that feels bad, that's not right. That's because your awareness, right, your consciousness is telling you, yeah, that's not how the fuck it's supposed to be. You see what I'm saying? There's a misalignment with reality. The unfortunate thing is that the unique self paradigm is really where, in my opinion, like Aaron calls it illumination in the SQ chart, this is where shit actually starts getting way better. Because although the true self paradigm is great, it can be very disempowering. This is actually a very good example. Let me put this down. So, one of my mentors, Hamza Ahmed on YouTube, self-improvement guy, right? Hamza is, he's been like my main mentor for self-improvement over the last year and a half, basically. I'm trying to make sure this shot is like, okay. I'm sure it's good. And basically when I found Hamza at the end of 2023, he was kind of coming out of this like spiritual journey. He was kind of still in it, but he was really on the tail end of it. But it was basically this journey where he was at the true self paradigm and he was no longer doing any of the things that made him, feel good and got him successful from like his empowerment paradigm. You see what I'm saying? And I think that Hamza's actually come to the unique self paradigm. I don't think he has like the awareness or the complete awareness that's what it is, and that's actually the reality for other people. But Hamza was basically just like super into like materialism, chasing success, status, whatever. And then he got all those things. He achieved a fuck ton of goals by 24, 25. Dude was a jacked millionaire, like 2 million followers on YouTube, retired his family. It's like he had a girlfriend that he loved that he thought he was gonna like have children with. He was like, well, I guess it's time to be a father. And so he was kind of like on this like spiritual journey and like thinking like he was searching for himself and like stuff like that. But he was like, oh yeah, I don't even need like desires, like not important, and money's not even important, and muscle's not even important, and none of that shit really matters anyway, blah, 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 right? Denying those parts of himself that he actually felt were like him, right? Those parts of himself that actually got him to like the success that was like people recognizing him for the beauty and the power that he holds, right? No homo. It's like he stopped identifying and doing those things that brought so much joy and fulfillment to him, to his life. And so he started disidentifying with those things because he got like this very surface level understanding of these spiritual teachings, right? He said he was like studying Buddhism, and he was like, in Buddhism, a very, I don't know, it's very weird because the Buddha said have few desires but have great ones, right? But in Buddhism, it's all about like, oh yeah, no desire, bro. But it's like, it's not necessarily that it's no desire. The Buddha said that desire leads to suffering, which is somewhat the case, right? If you have a attachment to worldly desires, that usually does lead to suffering, right? But suffering is all about perception, right? Because if you can hold your pains through the beauty, through the lens of like, how can I learn from this? Like, if you're an alchemist, everything is beautiful. And so it's like, you don't really suffer. Life's still hard, like it's still painful, but you don't really suffer as much. You see what I'm saying? But it's not because you don't have any desire. Like, I have a fuck ton of desire. Worldly desires and spiritual desires, lower desires and higher desires. And I give into both of them. And I suffer for giving into the worldly desires at times. And I'm still working for that. You see what I'm saying? It's like, life is a process. But it's like, if you don't understand that you actually shouldn't deny those worldly aspects of yourself, you should take, we're going to come back to the thing now. You should take, come here. All right. Take the world. Come here. Focus. Okay. take the worldly desires and the higher desires and integrate them. The unique self, equation is true self plus unique perspective plus unique quality of intimacy plus unique gift equals unique self. All of those unique things, your unique quality of intimacy, your unique desire, your unique gift, your unique perspective, those things come from here. I mean, here as well, right? Because this is all you. But we started understanding that, oh, wait, I am a self. I am a unique individual that has beauty and has power and has righteousness and has agency in reality. And so what a big part of my mission is really helping people to get to hear unique self and helping us understand that it's like, yo, guys, this is where you want to be. Stop being trapped here. A lot of spiritual motherfuckers are trapped here, and this shit is not good. I was here. I was there pretty hardcore after my second mystical experience in August, from like August through October, basically when I was with my ex, and it was bad, bro. It was bad. It was bad. I was just like, oh man, I was denying the material so bad, and because of that, it was like manifesting so heavily in shadow. Like I was so deep in lust, bro. Holy shit, bro. I was struggling so hard with like lust and like escape, like fucking getting high all the time and fucking like binging like junk food and shit. Like, bro, like it was a dark season for me then, bro, because I had this spiritual epiphany, right, which allowed me insight, which was great, but then I kind of recalibrated and the false self, right, or the separate self, more like, just ego wanting to hold me back. It kept me, in this level of like, oh yeah, everything's all good, baby, so we can just, stay in love and unity. No, it was not all good. Nah. And then, once I got to these teachings, I learned this the unique self like paradigm from Mark in January of this year. Everything just started clicking for me. And once I started understanding this and being able to hold the paradox, that's when shit like, because I feel like I'm like here. This is like my level of awareness. You know what I mean? Like I'm a pretty fucking aware guy. I'm not gonna lie. And that's what I want to help you guys do. I want to help you become more aware, because awareness is everything. Without awareness, like what do you have, bro? You know what I mean? It's like you literally can't do anything if you don't know you can do it. You can't do anything if you don't know at least the first step to take towards moving towards that thing. Now, the thing is, you're not going to know everything. That's just reality. You're never going to be able to know everything before you take any action. God would never let you do that, because God doesn't work like that. If you want God's will and desire behind you, you got to show it. You got to show up for it. You see what I'm saying? Like, for me, like, shit, bro, I be coping mad hard a lot of the time before I record these videos, because I know that these videos are going to be like me doing a lot of yapping, and it's a lot of like riffing and just like off the top articulating, but this is what I'm here to do. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna lie, I be coping, because it's like the worldly man wants things to be easy, right? He doesn't want to do the hard things. He wants to just chill and just whatever. But nah, the spiritual man needs hard things. The spiritual man needs things to be hard, because that's how we grow. That's how I become more aware. That's how I help people in my mission. You see what I'm saying? Unique self paradigm is everything, bro. It's everything. Because once you get here, you understand that who I am is inherently valuable. And I think that's actually a very, very, very important thing to spit about real quick. I wrote about this in I think it was like in February, but I basically was talking about this. I was talking about how so many people are purposeless, and how it's really sad. I hope this looks okay. The focus is probably off, but fuck it. A lot of people are very purposeless, and it makes me very sad. Which is why it doesn't even make me sad. It makes me a little sad, but it pisses me off, bro. Like, that shit disgusts me. Like, that shit makes me want to fucking punch something, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, damn. So many people are just lost. and then like they're suffering, and like I was like, it's just it sucks because I get it. You know what I mean? It's like I perceive how many people are lost, and I just go to when I was lost, and then I amplify that by how many people are lost, and then I feel like I'm like tapping into that collective pain. You see what I'm saying? And then like that pain just fucking drives me to be like, I'm gonna fucking stab this motherfucker to death. I'm going to murder this motherfucker with my sword. I'm going to kill you dead. Because to me, it's unacceptable that so many people are purposeless. It's unacceptable that so many people don't love themselves. It's unacceptable that so many people have horrid mental health. It's unacceptable that so many people want to be more creative, want to be pursuing things in business or in philosophy or in fitness or in whatever the fuck they actually want to do with their lives, but they're too busy listening to the fucking programmers, right? They're too busy listening to the programs for their parents, the programs from the media, the programs from their schools, the programs from their colleges, the programs from the fucking workplace, the programs from the religious figures, all the fucking programs, the programs from the influencers. Shit, the programs from me. I'm trying to program you right now. Everyone's too busy listening to the fucking programs, right? Because we're all too busy just fucking listening to everything, always on social media, always scrolling, always on YouTube. I understand, right? I spend too much time on YouTube too, right? But even I still make time to always disconnect, always just be present, allow myself to fucking hear myself think, to allow myself to hear the voice of God speaking to me, to allow the voice of she, the Shekinah, to give me her guidance, so I can move through reality in alignment with her, so I can express who I am, who she wants me to express. You are an expression of God, a unique expression of the field. And via your unique perspective, right, how you see things, your unique quality of intimacy, how you interact with others, your presence, via your unique gift, what you can give to others, how you can serve others, via these things, you are valuable. Period, period, period. And what you need to do is find your perspective and share it. Find your quality of intimacy, clarify it, share it. Find your gift, share it. I'm not saying it's easy, but what the fuck else are you gonna do? Like, would you rather just stay living in escapism and hating your life all the fucking time? Like, I don't get it. Would you rather just do nothing and waste away with like doing meaningless shit? Or would you rather spend at least an hour a day doing something that actually builds towards something that you love, something that feels fulfilling to you, something that serves people that you want to serve, something that actually builds you to the person that you want to become rather than the person that the programmers want you to become? Fuck the programmers, bro. Fuck them. Like, give the programmers the middle finger, bro. When you see a belief in your mind from the programmers, right, and you're like, maybe you're like out on a walk, you're allowing yourself some space, and you like have this limited belief of like, oh man, I can't make videos because, I can't post videos on YouTube because blah, 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 blah. I don't want my friends at school to see me and laugh at me because, I'm like super insecure about how shitty my videos are going to be. It's like, bro, would you like rather stay living a life of fear, of low self-esteem, of uh I guess lack of expression should be here. Anyways, repressed creativity, right? Withheld intimacy, right? Would you rather a life of this? Like, do you want these things? These things fucking suck, bro. Like, we don't want this. We want this. And so we have to transmute. And we can, right? If you recognize these things in your life, all you have to do to make things better is literally just start doing the opposite. If your creativity is repressed, start making shit. If your self-esteem is low, start building things with willpower. If you have depression, build some fucking relationships. You see what I'm saying, bro? It's like, dude, you need to actually recognize these aspects of yourself that you don't fucking want, that are making your life fucking trash, and then see how you can instead do these things, the sacred manifestations. Okay, awesome. That was a good rant. So that's unique self. Unique self is being able to hold your uniqueness, right? These things that the ego kind of hints at, right? The ego is kind of like the first level of like perceiving your uniqueness. Unique self is that second level. Next, we move to evolving unique self. This is understanding that you are right identified. So okay, I didn't even say that the unique self was a conscious a conscious identification with the self in the collective. So this is understanding that I am a unique puzzle piece, a part of the puzzle. I am a droplet, a part of the ocean. I am a ray of sun, a part of the sun. You see what I'm saying? Like, I understand myself within the context of the collective. Now, evolving unique self is this through time. And now this can be through your own life, like the past and the future of your own life. This can also be, when we start really getting into it, this can be through like if we're talking like previous lifetimes and then future lifetimes, like having that clarity of perception that you're actually only in one lifetime of your many lifetimes. And so you can perceive that as, oh wait, I'm unique in this unique incarnation, and that unique incarnation is actually just a unique facet for my entire evolution as a soul. It's very complex. It's very complex. I told you. I'll be up here. If you want to hop up here with me, book a one-to-one guidance call. Or cop my course. It's $33. If you become a paid Substack subscriber, that's how you can support me and get access to my courses. You can get Mental Alchemy 101. You get my Block to Boundless Creativity course. Those are my 2 guides for helping you recognize the limitations in your mindset and your mental health, and actually giving you the action steps to literally do something about it. So you can actually start making change and start creating shit. Because that's what you want to do, right? You want to make stuff. You're creative. Like, you wouldn't be here if you didn't want to make shit. Whatever that is. Maybe you want to do art, you want to do content, you want to do business. Maybe you like, you're a body artist, a physical artist. Maybe your art is fucking karate. I don't know, whatever. But you're a creator, because we're all creators, right? We're all builders. We're all nurturers. We're all reflections of the one, right? And as God is the creator of life, and as we're all made in the image of God, we are all creators as well. And so we have to use our creatorhood. And the more we use it, the better we feel, because that's who we are, expressing the one uniquely through time. And then we get to unique self symphony. So unique self symphony is a conscious identification with the collective of unique selves. So this is when you understand that I am not just a unique self through time, right? One with the field, but it's like you're actually able to hold the perception of other people's unique selves and recognize that all of our uniqueness is actually perfect and required for the unique self symphony. So I love this analogy. Think of like an orchestra, or yeah, there we go, symphony, right? And you have the conductor. God is the conductor. And then you have all of the artists, all of the musicians, all of the people that contribute to the music, right? Now we have the all presence, the all knowing of God directing us and guiding us. And if we ever need to, we can look to God and recognize what we need to do, right? We can have that understanding that, yes, my creator's always there for me, and if I ever need them, I can just ask. They're always within presence. But that doesn't mean that you should just be focused on like looking just at God, right? You should always have your awareness and your intent on serving God, but it's like, well, everything is God. And the thing is, I have this instrument in my hand and these skills to play this instrument to play. And so I need to actually play my instrument and do my part, because that's really how I show my love to God, by doing what God put me here to do, by playing my role. The thing is, you can look to God, and you should. At times, you'll probably like be like, oh wait, what's the play? Oh yeah, right. And like, you'll have that time, you'll have that discernment, right? And like, when you're not performing, outside of the actual play, right, outside of the performance, you'll be able to talk to your conductor, right? And you'll be able to have those intimate conversations with them, obviously. But when you're in the doing, when you're in it, it's just you and the fucking mission. Especially like, now this depends on who you are, right? Like, well, what is that mission? What is that expression of myself, right? As a man, this is like your purpose and your mission. It's like, what am I here to give of myself to others in order to serve a greater collective, right? And that's like the masculine. The feminine usually, like with women, cultivates this through relationships, right? It's how do I serve the people that are closest to me, because that is really how I give. Now, not to say that women don't have missions. A lot of women have missions, and that's very beautiful. A lot of feminine women have missions. That's very beautiful. We all need to cultivate, the mission and the relationships in our lives, because we should never just have the masculine or the feminine. We always need to have both, however that manifests sacredly for us. And so it's man. Recognizing that, like, I have this part to play. Like, there is something that God is calling me to do. The thing is, when you like let's say you're in the performance, when you're not playing, you like feel bad. Like, if you're not doing the thing that other people need you to do, you're not showing up for them, and because of that, the collective is suffering. It's gonna reflect. Just gonna like, oh man, I'm not showing up for my people. It's like I'm not doing the best I can. I'm not even showing up for myself and giving what I have to give. That doesn't feel good. And that's why when you're not in alignment with your purpose and giving from that, when you're not serving others, when you're not helping others, it feels like shit. Because you need to serve other people, bro. It's literally a requirement. It's like, it's necessary. This is why I teach people to like fucking make art and do YouTube. Like, do content. It's the easiest way to serve other people. You post the things that you find valuable, whether that's your teachings or your art, your stories, whatever. Other people will find those things and find them valuable, and then they'll tell you about those things. You'll get that reinforcement. You'll be like, oh my gosh, other people find my value valuable. You'll get that mirror that the collective appreciates your contribution, and you'll want to do it more. It feels good, right? When you're playing, when you're turning up, and your homie's next to you, right, and he gives you a little like a little, a little elbow and a little smile because you're frying shit, right? Or you see a little baddie over there, and she sees you like fucking it up, and so she gives you a little like up and down look, like looking you up, and like she's trying to get with you and shit. Like, when you show off, you get that respect, you get that admiration, and you feel good about it, right? Like, external validation, there's a thin line between, the sacred and shadow manifestations of it, of like, oh, I need this to feel secure about myself and to feel like I am something, versus, ah, man, when I have this, it's just such a great reassurance of the beauty and power that I do hold that I'm not able to fully perceive because I'm just too close to myself a lot of the time. That's what it is. Like, can an eye see itself? Not without a mirror. Other people will mirror your beauty and your power back to you. That's the power of external validation. It's not all shadow. It's not all bad. You know what I mean? And I don't think people should shit on it like that. We are fucking people, and our psychology has been wired to work this way, and so we shouldn't deny it. We should hold it in a way that actually feels correct. The problem is people are trying to get validation from everybody. Everyone's trying to be liked by everyone. Fuck that. That's for pussies. Only pussies want to be liked by everyone. Only pussies are not okay with being disliked and being hated. So let me ask you a question. Are you a pussy? Because if you are, you can just keep doing that and get the fuck off my channel. But if you're not, if you don't want to be a pussy, if you feel like you are and you don't want to be one, or you're not a pussy, right? And you have like two pairs, like you have two balls, right? Or you're a woman and you actually have some fucking ovaries, right? If that's you, then you shouldn't want to be liked by everyone. Because the thing is, being liked means you're just in neutrality. Love and hate are two poles of the same continuum. And so you don't want people to be here feeling just okay about you. It's like, oh yeah, he's whatever. Who gives a fuck? Why would you want that? That's what you're going to be getting if you just want people to like you. You're trying to shapeshift. You're trying to mold for everybody. You're not willing to be your authentic self, your polarizing self, right? I just turned a lot of people off by calling you pussies. A lot of people would have just left. Cool. Get the fuck up out of here. I don't want you. I'm not here to be liked by everyone. Neither are you. You are here to be loved. Period. And so if you want to be loved, I promise it's going to come with its polarity of hate. It's going to happen. People are going to dislike you. People are going to hate you. People are going to shit on you. Depending on what you do, people might want to literally harm you. Is what it is. That's the price of the game. Because if you want to be loved, which is what you desire, that's what you truly desire. You don't want to be liked. That's for pussies. You don't actually want that. You want to be loved. You want to be seen. You want to be heard. You want to be accepted. You want to be felt. You want to be held. You want to be recognized. You want to be embraced. You want to be lifted up. That's what you desire. You're not going to get none of that shit getting liked. What the fuck? You got to be polarizing. You got to be willing to be hated. And most people aren't willing to be hated. Stop trying to seek validation from everybody. That shit is whack. Seek validation from the people that are actually in alignment with your values, with your pursuits, with your interests, right? When I see cool spiritual motherfuckers and they validate me, it feels good. Right? When I'm in Library of Adonis, that's Hamza's like school community, and I write a post about dating, and the boys are telling me like, yo, this was super valuable, like it was about cold approaching. Like, yo, this was like actual real value, like a finally a good post. Like that was actually something somebody said. I was like, yo, that's fucking sick. Like that makes me feel good. You see what I'm saying? When I spit some sauce to Sam or to Jake in our group chat, by the way, if you become a paid Substack sub, you could join our group chat. But when I spit some sauce and they're like, oh shit, Jaden, this is fucking game, bro. That makes me feel good. Because I'm being recognized by people I'm in alignment with, people I want to be recognized by, because we have similar values, similar interests. And so by them recognizing that, it shows me that I'm on the path that I want to be on. I'm being recognized for what I want to be recognized for. And that feels fucking awesome. And you should want that. And if you don't know what you want to be recognized for, you need to turn your phone off. Like after this video, stop watching YouTube. Fucking go outside or just like maybe stare at a wall. You could do that. But I'd recommend just going outside because staring at a wall is fucking boring. Go outside, no headphones, and just think. Like just allow yourself to be with your thoughts. Ask yourself the question, what can I pursue? What should I pursue? What desires have I been denying? When you ask yourself these questions, by the way, I have all of these questions, like all of this is in my mental alchemy course. Literally, honestly, bro, if you're watching this and you find my videos valuable, literally just join for a month, watch the course, and dip. Honestly, I don't care. I just want people to watch the course because it's really, really good. I promise you, all of your limited beliefs will be identified and you'll be actually able to start recognizing how to make moves, how to start walking the path that you feel is your path, not the path the programmers put on you, right? I already thought about all of that shit. Right? Me 6 months ago, he did the work. It was really good too. It took me like 50 hours to make that course. But when you allow yourself the space to actually pull these things in, to actually see like what's in yourself, and actually like hear what God is telling you, when you give yourself the space for that, and you're no longer, visually or auditorily stimulating yourself all the time. Like the thing is, like, here's the thing, bro. If you're visually looking at something or hearing something with your physical senses, that means that your senses are taken up. You won't be able to use your spiritual senses, like your spiritual sight, your introspection, or your spiritual hearing, right? Hearing, intuition. You won't be able to hear or see with those because you'll be too busy with the physical, right? You need to be able to detach from the lower in order to receive the messages from the higher, in order to expand and reach towards the higher. And so the more you practice presence, the more you put your fucking phone down and take your fucking headphones off. Like literally. The more you do that and you just allow yourself to be with your thoughts and confront them. Like the shit is going to be hard and scary. It is. But confront them and be honest with yourself about them. Even if you don't take action on them right away, be honest with yourself about them. Hold them in integrity. Look at them with clarity. Because only from that clarity will you be able to move and take steps. Right? Like I told you earlier, God's not going to give us the full vision. But God will give us a tiny amount of clarity. And from that tiny amount, we have to earn more clarity via walking in faith. You have to be in the tunnel, starting out completely in the darkness, pitch black, you can't see shit. And so you're just walking and you're tiptoeing because you don't really want to you don't want to bump into anything, you don't want to fall, you don't want to trip, blah, 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 blah. But then a glimmer comes. That's that clarity, that's that reassurance, that's that external validation, that's that mirror, that recognition. And it's like, oh wait, I'm on the path. And so you start picking up your pace. And the light might go out at times, but you're still going. And it comes back. And it continues to expand. And you continue to pick up your pace. You go faster. As you do this, more clarity will come to you. But it's only because your willingness to move. You got to move first. You don't deserve shit if you're not moving. Period. God don't do nothing for the donors. God wants doers. All right? Be a doer. Because if you're a donor, it's a wrap for you. I like that. Donor. I'm going to start saying that more. I'm about to start calling Jake a donor. That's good. Ooh, yeah, that'll piss him off. All right. Yo, Jake, if you're watching this, get pissed off. Oh, man. Yeah, this is good. This is good. So, I was kind of ranting there. But all of that was basically to say that we want to play our part. We have to play our part. We have to contribute. Because that's what we're all here to do. To contribute our unique perspective, unique quality of intimacy, our unique gift. Because that is what life is about. Like, true self, the one. Shit, I'll explain my interpretation of non-duality to you real quick. So, if God is one, singular, indivisible, the sole source of life and existence, if God is one, that must mean that God is the only being, right? Like, ultimately, right? And we're all creations from that ultimate being. But if God is the only being, how does God know God's self? God doesn't have like another person to like have a conversation with to mirror God's self back to. And so what does God do? God just creates a fucking mirror. I like to say mother in her game of duality. Because via this game of duality, the light and the darkness, the feminine and the masculine, yin yang, whatever. Via these principles, via this polarity, this duality, via this contrast, God is able to know God's self on an infinite level. God is able to experience God's self through an infinite number of experiences. And thus God is able to create more love for God's self out of its creation. It's like, I can only imagine this. But, well, as an artist, I guess I can say this. I was going to say, like, as a imagining parenthood, right? I can imagine that being a parent and having a child and, like, recognizing that the child's love is an extension of your love would make you feel your own love even greater. You see what I'm saying? Now, I don't know that experientially, but I can kind of, like, step into that, and it just makes sense. I was almost, like, stepping into how my sister might see my niece. But as an artist, as a creative, when I see the beauty and the intellect and the humor and just like my fucking content is really good. Like the shit I say is very profound, and I'm also like really funny, and I'm super hot. But it's like, damn, that like I got honestly, guys, like I genuinely can't tell you how much creating has been my primary vehicle for inner work. Like, I've garnered so much love for myself over the last year because I've relentlessly committed myself to this pursuit of YouTube. And like via this like dedication to the craft and to like my own self-development and my own service from that via these videos, my commitment to creativity has continuously reflected things about myself that show me the beauty of, like the amazing parts of myself that I want to hold and cherish. And it's shown me things that I need to confront and things that I need to understand and hold in integrity and tackle, overcome, integrate, right? The light and the shadow. And it's been such a beautiful journey to recognize my shadows and to heal them, to recognize my strengths and to cherish them, to garner in them. I was literally thinking about this yesterday. I was like, fuck, bro. I love myself and respect myself so much. I couldn't have said that a year ago. Like, those words honestly weren't possible for me to say a year ago. Like, with genuine conviction, and like, it doesn't feel like it's bullshit. But now I can. And honestly, making shit has been the primary vehicle. Expression is the opposite of depression, baby. So create, create, create. It's the soul's medicine. Ultimately, we are creators, and we're here to express our unique selves. So we got to do that. Here's a little overview of the levels of self. I would go over this, but this video's been long enough, and honestly, I don't feel like it. So if you want to just like take a look at this, you can do that. If you can't read my handwriting, can pay me some money to hop on a call, and I'll tell you about it. All right. So pre-personal self, unconscious identification with the collective. So it's like a baby that's just operating off survival and what like it needs. Separate self, unconscious identification with the self. So now we're starting to get to desires, sexual and creative energy. I want things. The false self, the conscious identity with the self, right, where we start getting to power, will, intent. I will do things. I will create things. I do these things. You see what I'm saying? True self, a conscious identity with the collective, with the field of reality, with the one. This is love, unity, value, oneness. I love. Then there's unique self, a conscious identity, identification with the self in the collective. This is I express, right? Authenticity, expression. It's really understanding that I am a unique aspect of the one that is necessary. I'm a unique puzzle piece that fits into the puzzle, and that actually helps like expand the puzzle. It's kind of interesting. The expansion kind of gets into this next part, right? The puzzle is actually an expanding puzzle. The puzzle is growing. More God is coming. More new things are always evolving, are always emerging. More realities, a greater wholeness is always birthing. And I'm a part of this evolving unique self. I'm a part of this evolution. Evolution is living in me, through me. And then you understand that the conscious identification with the collective of unique selves, this is the unique self symphony. Evolution is moving through all of us and expanding all of us, and we all have a unique part to play to contribute to true self. I am one with the all. I am. Yeah, this is good. Damn, this was fucking long, bro. Holy shit. Okay, doke. Yeah, that was good.